And we are back. Sorry about that. I have a very common issue here of my phone just overheating and giving up on me right in the middle of a stream. But we're back. This is the collection appreciation stream where I am talking about cars that you guys want me to show off and talk about. And we're back on the floor looking at cars. Cool. Okay, hold on. Let me move us back to the usual spot. Let's hope things go a bit more smoothly this time. All right. My custom minis. I'm just going to be showing off one car at a time. So if you ask for a group, I'm not going to show an entire group. Sorry. If you've ever been asked this question, because I want to know why you randomly have a photo of diecast card backs printed there. Yeah, I know the first live stream's still live. That's a glitch that happens when this happens. That'll shut itself down eventually. This is my background. Since I started my channel, I've always had just a background. It's gone through many incarnations. Just so that there's something in the background when I'm doing my videos. Specifically, this is one diecast from each year, with every style of mainline card back. So that's there just as the background. It's really very interesting character choice. Yeah, I wanted to make it interesting. I picked some of my personal favorites, whether I own them or not. Just wanted to make it some interesting, unique ones to put in the background. It's actually been helpful in several videos where I could point to specific packaging styles when I'm talking about items. Yes, I can get Ken Ada. One of my customs not based on a Cars diecast, one of the only ones, the other ones being the other monster trucks I use. Our old pal Ken Ada here. He's a personal favorite of mine. My sister went to Canada last summer and picked me up this this toy Canada truck. Yeah, he is just Ken. Poor guy. He's got a weird pullback thing going on. All I did was add eyes to him. He doesn't even have a mouth. He looks sick. Don't, thank you. But, thank Canada instead. Yeah, I didn't even give him pupils. Oops. I mean, I didn't give him the black dots I usually do. I just had to rush throw them together so I could get him in the background of Cars Adventures. He still has his price sticker on the bottom. I don't know if we'll ever see him again, but he meshes pretty well with 155 scale. Since deluxes are over, there should be a definitive list of the top 10 deluxes. Well, deluxes aren't over. The deluxe line just currently isn't happening. Do you have a Vietnam or China drag racer Brick Yardley? Yeah, no, yeah, this part, I thought this part worked as a mouth, so. Why isn't your Mater flashlight in your collection video? Because it's my Cars diecast collection, not every Cars product I own. It's not every single Cars thing I own, it's just my Cars diecast collection. See my comment regarding the Batcar custom review. I know I got a comment on that recently from someone saying I should do the Adam West Batmobile. I'm not sure if that was you. If it was, thank you for the comment. Batcar is a very specific series, so I don't plan to do like other versions of Batman. With some exceptions. We will see. I would love to do a 60s Batman parody, but I'd probably just use the Batcar. What I probably do is buy another Speed Demon and paint it in the blue and gray color scheme instead. Yes, Cars Ignite, I saw. Can Ramon fit through Uchi? I believe he can. I think. We can test that out. But, I think he does. I think I used him in a Cars Adventures episode and had him go through Uchi. I believe. I don't have the McQueen juice bottle with me. I don't have the Mater flashlight with me either. Yeah, Leroy Hemming would work, but he's not out currently. No, I still have it. I just don't have it with me right now. It's not in this room. What are your opinions on the fact that Jessica is basically pink Guido with a cone and clipboard and is still the same price as an average diecast? My thought is that it's one of my favorite releases of this year. When they do a pity on their own, they either pack it with another pity or pack it in with some accessories. I would have much preferred a more scene-accurate accessory than a cone. I would have preferred something more I'm filming a movie adjacent, even if it's just like a little plastic box labeled props. The cone doesn't really fit. You got Professor Z in this room? I don't, but I can get Professor Z. I'll get Professor Z. I'm also gonna go grab Uchi. I actually don't know where Professor Z is. He is in this room somewhere. I'm not quite sure where, so I am sorry. Could not find Professor Z right now. Could find Uchi, though. And now it's time for the moment of truth. This is the important content you subscribe to this channel for. I think he's in the Around the World section. Yes, I know what part of my collection Professor Z is in, but he is not currently there because I used him for a video recently, and he hasn't been put back. I actually showed the Riddler custom in the first stream already, so I'm not going to show it again. No, I don't have any Atomica cars, sorry. The Lights and Sounds Professor Z is just way too big. I don't think he's explicitly 143 scale, but I am one of the most meticulous collection organizers you will ever meet. The way I organize my collection is kind of insane. I do it by character, by scene, chronologically, in order of the canon, and for each project I have them organized by estimated amount of screen time. It's a system that's weird, but hey, it works for me. And I much prefer it to just throwing them in a random order, you know. There are people out there who throw their cars in a random order. I got my order, you got your order. Or maybe you don't have an order. I do it based on how much prominence they have in the project. Yeah, the Professor Z quick changer is also basically 143. I have no order, I have a bin. I used to have a bin. Fun fact, this very shelf, which is a bookshelf that stretches across my entire wall, it's where I store my mini racers off to the left. You may have seen that. I show that in a bunch of my reviews, that all my minis are off to the left. This used to be where I stored my entire Cars diecast collection. This very shelf. Then I moved to my floor, and then I put them on my table. Now they're in a lot of places. Yeah, I have Ken is somewhere else. But here's Carby. These were not made by me. These were made by my sister. So there's Carby. Let me go grab Ken. He's on my table. Let's see. Grab Ken real quick. So, funny story behind the making of these. Which I'll tell if I can find Ken. So, I was on the way to the eye doctor. And I use Sharpie paint pens. They're very good for painting cars. They don't leave like a matte paint feeling, and since they're pens, they're pretty easy to use. Since they're paint pens, they're thin, they're easy to use. I'll occasionally add details and just a regular thin Sharpie. Anyway, I was on the way to, oh yeah, they also dry super fast, which is nice. I was on the way to the eye doctor, and the Barbie movie just came out, so it was the whole big thing, right? And I had the sudden idea to do an entire Cars Adventures episode just about that. So here I am on the way to the eye doctor, and the eye doctor I go to puts like drops in your eyes that makes it hard to see because I have glasses and my eyesight sucks. So any day I go to the eye doctor, I'm gearing up for a miserable day for the rest of the day because I will not be able to see very well up close. But in the car, I call my sister, and I go, look, I need you to do me a favor. I just had the best video idea. I need you to take 2 of my minis, and I need you to make a Barbie car and a Ken car. I told her to use a spare Flow, and eventually we decided on a spare Jackson Storm for Ken, and then she painted them. I want to say I did a second layer. She had to go, she was having dinner with her friends or something, so she left them for me with a note telling me to add another coat of paint, pink paint. to Ken. So I did that, and now there are two of my favorite custom minis. What do you think of the pissing abilities for Fiber Fuel, Transfer Juice, or Tacoman? I don't like them because they don't even exist in the movie. Well, they may not physically appear in the movie, but they exist in universe. The Fiber Fuel team has a pity. The Transberry Juice team has a pity, etc., etc. Most of the haulers we got don't exist in the movie, but they exist for the sake of completion in the toy line, which is something that I really appreciate and respect them doing. Again, they do exist. They just don't appear. I'm not a fan of the design they went for the Tacoman team, though. That always disappointed me. I wish they'd done something. I wish they had not used white as the primary color. I know you have the 155 scale, but do you have the high impact mini? I do have mini high impact. Where is she? Here she is. I don't remember what year this was. You guys ever been to Steve's Tool Barn? Great place. Making characters that don't appear but still exist is an amazing choice by Mattel. Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite things that they've done. I love that. Any little piece in the diecast line that adds more lore or world building to the Cars universe, I love. $2021, thanks. Yeah, all the Demolition Derby packs typically suck. they do not stand out in my mind, my guy. What time is it? Let's see. It is 2:09. Okay. I wanted to film my review. I got a Cars Adventures episode coming out today. I wanted to film my review. I wanted to film my review of the DVD pack today. I'm not sure if I'll still do that. There's a lot to say about that. There's a lot to say about that. For Cars 3 stock cars, you don't have Revan Go, Lane Lock, TG Castlenut, and Bobby Rotesta. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's correct. You got all of them. You got all of the ones that you listed. All of the. I've only been alive since 2020. Right, I forgot. I'm talking to a real frog here. Dang, what's the average lifespan of a poison frog, Calypso? We don't want to lose you, man. Cars 3 stock cars don't even have character, and the next gens do. The next gens are all literally the exact same character. The next gens are like clone troopers if they weren't interesting. I think my max span is like 17 years. Okay. Alright. You still got some time. Bro really just compared a literal clone army to a fleet of race cars. For the Cars 1 racers, you're missing 5 of them. I'm not sure. I genuinely have no clue, man. Mac Icar, we'll say him. Ryan Shields, Misty, Eugene Carbareski, and Ernie Gerson. Well, the Cars 3 ones didn't get backstories. But some of the next gens got backstories, yeah. Very few, but some of them did. That's all the fault of the Cars 3 Meet the Cars book. The Cars 3 Meet the Cars book straight up sucks. That will not be reviewed in Ty's Cars Book Club. I would give that the most scathing review. It's so bad. It's such an inferior product to the Cars 2 edition. Which ice cream truck do you like better, Ice Screamer or Captain Longleggy? I want to see them in a death battle. I want to see them in a death match. Whoever comes out alive, I'd prefer. Cars 3 Meet the Cars is a terrible adaptation of the Meet the Cars book. I don't have that many Cars books, guys. I started the whole series where I review Cars books, and I don't have that many. That's not the best thing. Well, Meet the Cars is where we have most of our information on minor characters from, so. Don't worry, I brought water with me this time. That's a water bottle! I'm not Rashid, I won't be able to speedrun it. Guys, I know this part 2 of the stream just started, but I am probably going to cut it short so that I could get a video out in the next few hours, I think. Probably. We're going to end in a little bit. Usually when I do a live stream, I just axe whatever one of my videos was for the day. But I usually go to stores on Saturday, and if I find new cars, obviously those become my priority to review. So I want to make sure I can review this DVD set today, so that if I find new stuff tomorrow, the review of this doesn't get pushed back. Also, my dad really wants me to open it so that he could write an eBay review to the seller. so that's part of it. It won't fit on screen, but we are gonna be opening this up later today. I gotta film it when it's over. Is Colossus the only construction vehicle we know in the Cars universe? I guess. One book I'm very excited to review. My copy of the Cars 3 DVD came with a storybook for some reason. I want to talk about that. Yeah, I don't have that many Cars books, but I want to get some more for the series. I have 2 other Cars comic issues. I really wanted to buy a bunch of the old Cars magazines. I wanted to buy a lot of the old Cars magazines because one of my favorite videos... One of my favorite videos is the one where I review the Cars magazine. That's genuinely one of my favorite videos I've ever made. So I wanted to buy more issues, but nobody is selling them. I've made all my customs I've made. How about the Cars 3 Junior novel you have? I do have that, yeah. I am doing a video on that eventually. I haven't read it. I started reading it and I started taking notes because I wanted to go over every difference between the movie and the book. Because those junior novelizations, they always go off of older scripts. So I wanna do that. I'll get back to that. The next video is gonna be I'm hoping to do a new Ties Cars book club probably on Sunday. I'm hoping to get, if I don't find any new cars at my stores tomorrow that I will review, I'm hoping to get new Weird Products out tomorrow. And I'm hoping for that to be Weird Puzzles too, which I've been promising for a very long time. Had 160 Cars magazines, but all of them were in Ukrainian. Yeah, that's not gonna help. I'm sorry. Yes, Cars Ignite, I'm well aware. Muppets from Space. Yeah, I've heard about the Muppets from Space Junior novelization. Not to get on a tangent, but I own the novelization of the 2011 Muppet movie, and it has all the deleted scenes. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the deleted scene where Miss Piggy and Lady Gaga have a dance-off to Vogue by Madonna. That didn't make the cut, but it does have... it also doesn't... Originally, instead of kidnapping Jack Black, they were gonna kidnap Elmo. It does not feature that. I actually never finished it, so I don't know how they adapt the kidnap Jack Black part. But it translates like all the other deleted scenes. How often will the Diecast History series be uploaded? Probably once every 2 weeks. For the first few episodes, it's probably... Is the prisoner referred to as Danny Trejo? I don't think so. No. I don't know. I assume they include that scene. The first few episodes are going to release weekly, just so that I could get through all the McQueens more quickly, and then it's going to switch to a every other week schedule. Which one are you more looking forward to, Sonic 3 or the Knuckles series? Neither of them. I'm not a Sonic fan. Excited to see more Cars Diecast history. Maybe you can show the Precision Series Sally to keep the relevancy of the stream. Thank you. Thank you for trying to keep us back on track. Thank you. That's right. Here she is. I just have the light up one. Unfortunately, her headlights are dying out currently. So before I do the video on her, I am doing a... I am going to have to do a battery swap. She's got a few chips on her, just because I've used her in Cars Adventures for all these years. Some people would see that on a Precision Series car and bawl their eyes out. Not me. I'm a man. I don't cry when my toy cars chip. Unless they're metallic Cal Weathers, who I asked them to release for 2 years. And, guys, this is the funniest story in the history of collecting cars for me. Okay? One day, I was organizing my collection. The King is on my top shelf, and one of my Kings fell. And he fell directly on Cal's eye. The pointy front of the King took off part of Cal's pupil, and it, to this day, is the funniest thing that's ever happened to one of my cars. Am I still mad? Yes, I'm very mad. I am very, very, very upset to this day. I still am not over it. I am upset. But I think it's so funny that that happened. Anyway, yes, we've gotten a request for showing the 2018 Sally and the original Sally. I'm surprised my 2018 Sally has some chips, but I use her as a stunt double Sally in Cars Adventures when I'm doing something that I'm a little concerned my Precision Series Sally may get damaged from. Good comeback, Cal. Ooh, nah, bro, really chipped a Precision Series car. Time to get out the pitchforks and torches. Yeah, man, it's time for me to go off to eBay and buy an entire new $300 Cozy Cone motel, purely because my Sally has 2 chips on her. You know, that's the life of... It's the life of being a cars YouTuber, guys. That's what you gotta do. You gotta stay on that grind. The King pokes his son's eye. It's his nephew, but son sounds so much funnier. Is 2018 Sally expensive? I'm not quite sure, but I would prefer, if you're looking for one, I'd recommend the Welcome to Radiator Springs Sally instead. Do you have RS Classic Sally with tattoo? I have the Welcome to Radiator Springs. Oh, yes, I do. I have both. I have the 2017, and then I have the Welcome to Radiator Springs Sally with tattoo from 2020, who is missing her tattoo. It's like when they made Van with sticker and forgot to put the sticker on half of them all over again. But yes, I do. As long as we're out here showing all my Sallys, here is 2017 Cars 3, quote-unquote, Sally with tattoo. Here she is. One of the most underrated Sallys, IMO. As much as I love Precision Series Sally, I just wish she didn't have the spoiler up. Because honestly, like, I can't recall a specific scene in the Cars series where Sally's spoiler is up. But in 2017 to 2019, nearly every piece of new Sally merchandise had her spoiler up. We even have that as a permanent part of the mold of her mini racer. Maybe it wasn't a style guide? I don't know. I don't know. Remember seeing damaged mood springs in the store. My mom said, who would buy a damaged toy car? A lot of people, apparently. You know, my favorite thing I've overheard while shopping for cars, I go at unorthodox hours. I usually go shopping at like 10 in the morning or like 2 in the afternoon on Thursdays. So there are never really kids in the aisle, let alone anywhere in the entire store. And one time there's a mother... And this is roughly 2018, early 2018. And she goes to her kid, no, that's not Lightning McQueen, that's Chester Whipple Filter. Did you not see that it says Lightning McQueen as Chester Whipple Filter? This act of weird stupidity alone was one of the main reasons why I made an entire video about why I think they aren't making Chester Whipple Filter. And that was one of my main points. My other favorite thing was when I was in Cars Land and they were selling a Jackson Storm, and this dad goes to his kid, "Oh, that's the evil guy." I was like, "Yeah, that is the evil guy. You're so right." I didn't say that, of course, but he's not wrong. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's one reason that they may not make Chester Ripple Filter that I refused to mention in my video. Because I thought it was too stupid and also too lowbrow to say. But honestly, one reason as to why may very well be the fact that it looks like Lightning McQueen is covered in another substance that is known to be brown. I don't buy that as the reason why, but people have made that joke in my comments. I'm just saying. Poop Lightning McQueen, my guys. I mean, Muddy Lightning McQueen looks far worse in that regard. But, I think that is the stupidest reason to think that he hasn't been made. I don't think that's a legitimate reason as to why it hasn't been made. I think that's incredibly stupid to think. But maybe, I don't know, I don't work at a corporation, maybe somebody at Mattel or Pixar was like, we can't do that, and now they don't make him. Like, guys, I think there's a conspiracy going on, okay? Anyway, let's carry on. I genuinely think we don't get Chester Whipplefilter anymore because Mattel thinks people won't recognize that that it is a McQueen. If you did find Steel Blue Jackson for a good price, would you pick it up? It's not really an item I'm interested in, but maybe. I think he's good enough. The RS 24-hour whatever endurance racer whatever, that one, Jackson, is like a shiny blue. Show a car that's furthest away from you. Plushie Rama, we're gonna do some math here. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk to the other side of my house to find the single Cars diecast furthest away from me at this current moment. I'm in another room now and we're gonna find which one that is. Here we go. Tucked away in the corner of a different room, a Victor Hugo. The Cars diecast that is currently, scientifically, mathematically, the furthest away from me. There he is. Showcase the car you got. from getting involved in conspiracy theory. You know which one I'm talking about. Fine, I'll do it. I was told I'm not supposed to talk about this one. So if I land in hot water, this is your fault. This is the Rubber Tires Chester Whipple filter, who is better than the original in every way. I should have mentioned Fillmore. My axle is bent on mine, but that's okay. Not like I'm going to use it in a video. This is one of my personal favorite McQueen expressions of all time. Love me a good expression variant. That is not sarcasm, I genuinely do. I should have mentioned Fillmore. What do you mean there isn't a mud puddle? In Cars 3, the entire ground there is made of mud. That's why he gets covered in mud. For 2017, Missy, do you plan to get the new Missy? Yeah, Missy's one of the pisting up racers I'm missing. I just haven't found her case yet. I found it, but not the Target, not the full version of the case, only the Walmart version that she's not in. I think Muddy McQueen will return before Chester. I think Muddy McQueen is one of those cars that's pretty likely to come back one year, I think we'll probably get Chester Whipple filter first. I think it's only a matter of time until we see him again. But I think Muddy McQueen's going to be one of those days that out of the blue... out of the blue one day, we're going to get a rumor list drop. And Muddy McQueen's going to be in it, and it's going to be crazy. It's not often we get really solid re-releases in the first half of the year. You guys ever realize that? I think it's just a coincidence. But usually it takes until later on in the year for us to get all the really good re-releases. So I'm very excited to see which ones we have this year. I think the best re-releases we've gotten for 2024 so far are the Tuners with Flames, but I'm biased because those are some of the only ones I'm missing. Daredevil McQueen. Yeah, I could go get Daredevil. Hold on, let me get him for you. It's all the way over here. Okay. Here we go. Daredevil and Lightning McQueen. There you go. That's what you asked for, right? I also got this guy. I don't know if he's relevant here. Yesterday, I learned that there are 4 variants of this guy when I was recording the next Diecast history video. There are a lot of him out there. I thought there were 2, just the one with and without teeth. But there is a variant without the teeth with a different mouth expression. But the same eye expression as the toothed one. Weird how many expression variants they did in the Cars Tune packs. Not like I'm complaining. That is pretty cool that they did that. No, I don't know where the burnt taco is anymore. I'm sorry. He's in a bin somewhere with all the junk I don't use in videos. For the version that was the deluxe, it looks nicer. This is the deluxe version. Guys, for whatever reason, one of my most requested videos to this day is mac and cheese. Nobody knows that was just a joke I made in Guidoreos that I never planned to follow through on. Ever. One of these days I feel I'm obligated to. Okay, let me get Tailgate. Let me pretend to remember which one Tailgate is. I only remember Tailgate because I used her in Cars Adventures a lot, and Tailgate had a funny catchphrase in Cars Adventures or CDL. I'm Tailgate, and we haven't seen her in like 4 years. Classic Cars Adventures for you. Unfortunately, that on her eyes is permanent. I thought it was dirt. It's not. You guys ever been to the Greasy Grill Barbecue? Pretty good stuff over there. Oh yeah, it's Valentine's Day in like 4 days. I don't have a video for that. I have one on Uptown Funk planned, so close enough, right? I have one coming out from Uptown Funk that's a bunch of obscure, lost Muppet love interests that everyone forgets about, or were like one-offs. Oh, I've been told every Cars food pun in the cookbook, trust me. The amount of Cars food puns people have made to me post Guidoreos is insane. How's my Black Series collection? It's alright. I mainly focus on foreign stuff. I don't buy that many Black Series anymore. I don't have much space for them anymore. So I mainly focus on foreign Star Wars figures. But my Black Series stuff is good. It's just not, it's not organized currently. I'll show it eventually. I want to do a room tour video this year, but I gotta clean up my Star Wars Black Series collection first. I mean, the best thing I'm going to talk about in the Uptown Funk video, I can't spoil it actually. It's going to be a top 5 list. Not top 5, but just a list of 5. Cars Ignite, what did you ask? I'm getting so many questions, man! Monster Truck McQueen, Frightening McMean, or the one from Cars Adventures? Sorry, I meant to ask that, but... Dad, do you have the Vietnam or China Drag Racer Brick Yardley? I have the China release. Which I was pretty lucky to get, because I'm not a fan of how the Vietnam, early Vietnam releases looked, with their weirdly high amount of, for lack of a better term, eyeshadow. It's not eyeshadow, but it's shading on the eyelids. That, like, yeah, that's cool. As the Cars series went on, in Cars 3, they really go out of their way to make depth between the eyelids and the eyes of the characters. But Vietnam just did not capture it well. Where is that Cars Adventures McQueen? That's my question. Did I... Oh, I never... Funny story, I never put him away after the monster truck race. He's actually been hanging off to the side of my radiator springs for the past 3 months. Poor guy. Anyway. Back in the day when I was reviewing the drag racers, we had a bit of a tradition where we flipped them to see if they could land. Yeah, I feel like for the eyelid shadows, they tried their best to make them subtle, and it just failed. Here's the Cars Adventures Monster Truck McQueen. I don't remember what... this was first... Sorry, this was made first for... Sick Flips Brick! Woo! Brick Dover. I hate that I laughed at that. This was first made for the muffler season. It was actually designed long before that. But it's one of my... It's a favorite design of mine. It's one I always forget about, but it's one that I really do quite like as far as in terms of my monster truck customs I've done. I think it's an underrated McQueen design I've done. I've even considered making a mini of it. Tsum Tsum Mater. Oh gee, I hope I have it near me. I got rid of... I have most of my old stuffed animals are in a bin somewhere else, but I believe I still have the Mater in close vicinity to me. Alright. I also have the Swedish Chef. And Rolf. Rolf isn't here, but there's the Mater one. Thank you. Best request so far. Absolute icon. Yeah, that's a plastic Frightening McMean from a playset. Back in the day, I actually had it repainted as one of his alts. One of the monster truck alts. But now I use it for Cars Adventures. Can you show the ginormous Luigi plush you said you had once? It's in storage. It's in the little crawl space storage area behind in the back of my room. My bed covers the door, so I can't get in now, but in a future video, I'd love to. Yeah, I already said that I make custom cars earlier in the stream. I said that. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. The Piston 11, welcome, joins right after I say we're going to wrap this up. Oh, man. I want to make sure that I can get a video out. In a few hours. I got to review the DVD pack. Yeah, we'll do a few more. Dustin Mellows, sure. And Nomad. Nomad's a very interesting one. I'll do Nomad first because Dustin is in my closet. Nomad started his life, if I can find him. Here he is. Nomad started his life as a damaged Jackson Storm custom from an arc in Cars Adventures where he gets heavily damaged. Then he became a graveyard car that I never finished, and now he's Nomad. I don't know when we'll see him again. The real world stuff in Cars Adventures is over. I don't know if I've said this before, but I've specifically decided not to include the real world stuff in Multiversal Dash because I want to make sure Multiversal Dash is accessible to people who don't watch Cars Adventures, because it's going to have more eyes on it than most Cars Adventures things do. So I don't want to confuse people by sending them to a world where they understand the fact that they're Cars toys, you know? I mean, having to explain Steve Herschel is hard enough. Here's Dustin. Personal favorite of mine. One I've had for a very, very long time. Absolutely love Dustin and Mellows. One thing I really don't like, I used him in a Cars Adventures episode once, and he was like a total jerk. Dustin Mellows was kind of the worst. He was like Max Delivery Driver competitor. He just kind of sucked. So I've avoided using him in Cars Adventures since. Road Repair McQueen, I did not. Another stream today? No, I have a video I gotta get out today. I have 2 videos I gotta get out today, which is why no, Riplash will appear. He'll be with the tuners. I should probably explain the real world lore in the Cars Adventures movie. Well, we'll see. Because Steve is tied into the real world lore. I'm afraid that if I load the beginning of the movie with like, by the way, in Cars Adventures, the cars know they're toys now, I feel like that's going to turn some people away. I haven't seen Cars Adventures, but I feel some of the ideas, like Cruz being evil, was kind of weird considering how she was in Cars 3 and onward. I don't know where that idea came from. Well, number one, when Cars Adventures started and the Cruz's evil plot started, there was no other content with Cruz in it yet, because only Cars 3 was out. But yeah, I don't know why I did that. Okay, 2017 Ty made some really stupid decisions and was a very, very bad... early Cars Adventures was rough. Yeah, no, that's an idea I regret doing. It's been very much... we're very much past that now. Unfortunately, that's one of the things that it's most known for. I don't have my Riplash racers. They're all in a bin. I have the Snot Rod one from Cars Adventures, but we are going to be wrapping up the stream, so I'm not going to be showing off any other cars. There's a custom mater in McQueen's body going to appear in Multiversal Dash. That would be incredible. I'm not sure. That would be very funny, though. So we're going to wrap things up. Thank you all so much for joining us here in both of these streams. I know this was a bit shorter than usual, but like I said, I gotta make sure I get that DVD review out, so I'm very excited to do that. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.